How do you get to the church and back to the diner so fast?
Central, this is 037. Go ahead.
Yeah, you sure that's not a couple of little pyromaniacs you're escorting out there? This old church is on fire.
I want to bring them in my anthro class for showing. Eating sport? That's the song. That's the song.
The preliminary came back on that dust you took off the car handle. It's dead skin.
Say what?
Hey! You okay in there?
What is that?
Siblings Trish and Darry were just planning on having a nice spring break in Florida, until a derelict truck starts trying to run them off the road. The two drive past the same truck further up, and see the driver toss what appears to be a body wrapped in a white sheet down a sewage pipe by a creepy abandoned church.
What if it's someone still alive? Someone who needs help?
We can get help just as fast by getting to a phone.
What if it was you back there?
Falling into the pipe, Darry discovers that it leads to a horrific cave plastered with human corpses, all victims of an ancient demonic creature that feeds on humans for 23 days every 23 years. Congratulations, Darry, you played yourself. As they would come to discover, the monster known as the Creeper has incredible strength, stealth, speed, flight, and a form of cyclical immortality, and worst of all, it's hungry and wants to eat one of them.
Kids got anyone else with you?
Humanoid in shape and standing at over 6 feet tall, the Creeper's skin is covered in thick green scales, giving him a reptilian appearance. Featuring a human-like face with eyes, a nose, and a prominent lower jaw and razor-sharp teeth, the creature also has a third nostril slit used to smell the fear on its victims, likely a sense receptor that's able to detect the hormone cortisol, something we all produce in the brain when we're freaking out. The Creeper also has a set of functional wings folded against his back, camouflaged by his jacket, and the ability to regenerate any damaged part of its body by devouring that same part from a victim. Using this method, it's been able to survive for thousands of years. Those unfortunate enough to be consumed by the Creeper would then physically and spiritually be connected to it, often appearing as visions warning those that were about to come into contact with the demonic beast.
I hear it playing while one of you is screaming down in the dark somewhere. Screaming the last scream you'll ever scream!
All right, knock it off!
Regardless of how much damage it takes, the only thing that can stop the Creeper is essentially its own hibernation cycle, which shut it down for 23 years before releasing it during the spring to feed over 23 days of mayhem. Interestingly, while beast-like and seemingly incapable of speech, it did display a measure of human emotion in the form of frustration, amusement, and anger, and also a level of intelligence that enabled it to formulate calculated attacks. It was also shown to enjoy toying with its victims, and could understand emotions such as anger, pain, fear, and even compassion. On a fundamental level, his attacks are out of necessity to preserve its survival. Regardless, its attacks were still merciless and unsympathetic, going so far as to turn the bodies of its victims into grotesque art pieces for its own personal gratification in its house of pain.
What the hell's he got at these? Got it souped up or something?
Despite being hundreds, if not thousands of years old, it had an advanced understanding of modern technology, seen with his modified truck covered in booby traps, which could reach 100 miles per hour in a few seconds. His comical license plate, "Be Eating You," also shows the Creeper had a twisted sense of humor. On a spooky note, his knowledge also extends to taxidermy, as he's able to keep his human trophies in perfectly preserved conditions for centuries, if not millennia. The Creeper is shown to be incredibly astute when on the hunt, and would employ a variety of weapons that were unbreakable, ranging from a battle axe, daggers, to shurikens crafted out of bone. His weapons and equipment also had a unique ability to move on their own accord, either towards a target or back towards their master. This movement and their indestructibility must be attributed to a demonic spell or enchantment that harkens back to his mysterious past. And given his cyclical immortality, I suspect using the Creeper's own enchanted weapons is the only way to ultimately kill the Creeper for good.
Would you please just say something? Darry, you're scaring the shit out of me!
After escaping his lair, Trish and Darry flee and attempt to contact the police at a diner, where they're phoned by a psychic named Giselle, who tells them they're in danger. Confused, they ignore the warning and leave with a police escort. But while on the move, they learn that the church has caught fire, destroying any potential evidence, right before the police are attacked and killed by the Creeper. The siblings drive off in terror and stop at a house of a reclusive woman. As she's about to call for help, she notices the Creeper hiding in her yard, who kills her before revealing its inhuman face to Trish and Darry. After repeatedly running him over, they finally make it to a local police station, where they're approached by Giselle, who explains the lore and history surrounding the Creeper.
The highway, trying to freak people out so it can smell them.
Christ, Darry, why are we standing here with her?
Following them to the station, he eats several prisoners to heal from his injuries for killing a number of officers and evading capture. It then finds the siblings and throws Trish aside, having chosen Darry. She offers her life for his, but given she was not afraid to die, he rejects the proposal and flies off with his terrified prize. The film then concludes in his new house of pain, where we can see that he's removed the back of Darry's head and taken his eyes. Jeepers Creepers is horrifically loosely based on a true story. Obviously, there isn't a demon out there eating people, but in the summer of 1990, a man named Dennis Depew was caught dumping a dead body in Michigan by a pair of siblings named Ray and Marie Thornton. According to their police statement, he tailed them in his van for miles, just as the Creeper tailed Darry and Trish. What followed was a giant police manhunt.
It's more of like classic horror. The Creeper is just this mysterious being that is not really explained.
And it's just kind of a representation of pure, darkness and evil in the world.
For me, the practical effects of the Creeper are fantastic, and add to the creep factor of the lore and origins. The monster was designed by illustrator Brad Parker, while Brian Pennicus created the costume. Brian explained that he and his team had to do body, head, and foot casts of Jonathan Breck, who played the Creeper, and create custom-made sculptures and molds. All up, there were 5 complete Creeper suits and 10 Creeper masks. Breck essentially had to sit in the makeup chair for about 7 hours each day and wore copious amounts of latex along with his costume. Considering they were filming in humid areas in Florida, that honestly must have taken a huge toll on him.
The first movie we shot was just like a small independent film, really. So it was pretty cool because we were all coming together just to make this movie, just because we wanted to do it. We had no idea it would become what it's become.
A demon chasing people around could easily slip into goofiness, like with the Leprechaun series, but there's a genuine fear factor here that keeps him from becoming comical, and the key to it all is Jonathan Breck.
He's a very nice-looking guy, but once he took his hair away, he didn't look nice anymore. His eyes just kind of burned out at you. We were scared, really scared.
Breck studied the movements of various predatory animals for the role, incorporated them into his audition, and landed the part. He gets super into his role as the Creeper. The crew even confirmed that they would hear these strange guttural sounds while he was on set, only to find that it was Breck making unscripted growling noises to get into character. Critical reception to Jeepers Creepers was initially pretty bad. Despite this, the film made over $59 million against a small $10 million budget, and would gain a cult status over time. With its commercial success, of course, 2 more sequels were made that follow the demon's warpath, and a reboot called Jeepers Creepers Reborn is even set to be released this year. Directed by Timo Veren-Sola, the new film will kickstart a spin-off trilogy that takes place separately from the main films. But with all that said, what did you guys think about the original Jeepers Creepers? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, come join our regular streams on Twitch, and yeah, if you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. As always, it's been a pleasure. Niyat here with Film and Comics Explained. Thanks for stopping by.